Hello, folks. Good evening. Welcome to today's episode of Daily Option Trading Ideas with Techie Investor. Today's date is December 8, 2020. You're with Srini, co-founder of Techie Investor, and I'll be your host today, walking you through the charts. Before we get into the look of the markets, followed by the option trading ideas and the updates, let's first take care of the disclaimer. Centered in this video is only for informational purposes and educational purposes. However, the viewer can use this information to making their own investment decisions. However, the viewer is solely responsible for all the decisions that he makes using this information for his buy, hold, and sell investment decisions. So having taken care of the disclaimer, let's first look at how the market is looking. So as we were mentioning for the past few days, the SPY has touched the 112.5 retracement and it has gone up above that area 370, and now it is heading towards this trend line, which is right at 125% retracement, which is at 375. And if you look at the time zone, we are very close to the 8 time zone, as you see on the right. So we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we might see a big move tomorrow happening in the morning that will take here, and we might see a correction or a retracement happening from tomorrow afternoon. So that could be a possible, or it could start from Thursday morning. Okay. So having said that, so let's also look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ, as I mentioned, it retraced from the 50% retracement levels, and it is moving towards fast to the 137.5 retracement level. So we can see today, like you can see the level of 211, and we are the 211 and 150 is at 316. So we might see somewhere in that area in between these ranges tomorrow before we expect a correction. Hopefully we get a correction, or we don't know what's going to happen. Let's wait in the market. But definitely I am looking at these levels. Definitely I'm not playing a lot of bullish positions right now. I'm being very careful and cautious about my positions, and I'm looking at how to trim them. Okay. That's pretty much about the market updates, folks. Having said this, let's look at one of the ideas that I entered today was cost. Cost is Costco. I had mentioned it in yesterday's option trading ideas that this could go up for the earnings. Okay, that's the only one I played today, and it went up from the position I bought in. It had gone up by $2. Okay, we look at the charts. Why I think that. There are other long-term ideas. What I meant by long-term ideas is at least 2 months. Like we are looking at February or Jan calls. Okay, that like Facebook, then Deere, Apple, Microsoft. Okay, these are the things that I'm looking at. So now let's look at, okay, cost. If you look at it, like I was mentioning yesterday, it had started from a low of 355.79 and had gone to a high of 389. Then it retraced back to 360.59, which is like about more than 90 degrees. And then it went back to 393. And at this point of time, it didn't hit 395, which would have formed a 180-degree angle on the Gantt square of 9. But it didn't, so it gave back. So it looked like a typical earnings move. Hopefully, it goes back to the 395 area, and also had drawn the fib extensions. So if you look at the extensions, it has crossed the 100 level previously and had dropped back. So I'm now expecting it to go to the 161.58 and above. So which is like, that means it has to cross this trend line, and then it has to go to 399, and then it may take a little bit more move to up to 410. So definitely Costco is looking at touching 400, but let's wait and see what happens after tomorrow's earnings. Its earnings are on December 10th, which happens to be tomorrow. The next idea which I wanted to talk about is FB, Facebook. Facebook, again, we had drawn that Fibonacci extensions. It has been going on for a long time. If you look at these extensions, it had gone up to the level of 100 and 61, the previous level below this, and it had gone down. Now it could go up to 310. That's what I'm expecting, but let's see if that happens, okay? And then there might be another retracement. So if it gets to 310, that will be awesome. And we are on this week's 285 calls. So the first target that I'm looking at is 293, so that this trend line and this flat line. At this point of time, I might be rolling my calls to the next week, and I would be. But what I'm more excited about Facebook is the long-term potential. If you look at this one, it has a potential of going to around 350. So if you can play Jan or a Feb calls, that would be a best bet. Look at this trend line going all the way through. So we are looking at least another 15 days of trading, 15 trading days. So it'll be best to play the Jan calls or the Feb calls to ride this wave. So to buy some 300 calls and then ride this one all the way to the 350. So that is one thing I wanted to suggest. Then the second one is the D, which is the deer. Deer has been acting a little bit strange. Basically, it is looking at to go to this level. I was expecting it to touch 268, but it didn't. So right now, what I'm expecting is to get to 272. But we have another 2 days in this zone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are looking at another 3 days. And I'm expecting a move to 268 to 272 area by this week. If not, then again, we might have to roll these calls and see if it happens, right? So I'm being very cautious on this. But again, the long-term view looks fabulous on this. If you look at it, it is also looking to go to around 290 area, okay? So if you can play Jan calls, that will be awesome for this. So you will be looking at 290 according to the fib extensions. Okay? If you want to know more about the fib extensions, we have an exclusive training that we have done, and the recording is available in techinvestor.com. For the benefit of time, I'm not talking about how we came up with these numbers, but if you have any questions, you can always reach me out, or you can check out the training at our website. Okay. The third one which I wanted to talk about is Apple. Apple today made a significant move, and it is like right hitting at the flat line resistance of 124.82. If it crosses this, the next one will be this trend line, which we are looking at. The trend line, which is like around trend line and this 100% retrace extension, which is at around 136, 137 area. So we are looking at to get to this area, so that so this may not happen this week, but it may happen next week. So because there is a plenty of time for that. Okay. So keep a watch on it. Maybe December 24th calls will be good to move to 126, 136. But if you are a really long-term believer of Apple, then you might want to give more time, maybe for the next earnings, where you might see it hitting the 150, 160 level and even top of it to get to the next level, right? So like, you might see even it going to 180, 180 levels. Okay. So, but again, that's a very, very long term. So let's not worry about it. But just for right now, we're targeting at 136, which is a good level for Apple. And the last one is Microsoft. Microsoft today, it broke out of the cloud, and if you look at it, the conversion line is 214.08 and the baseline is 214. So what is going to happen tomorrow? There will be a big move, I believe, in Microsoft that will take the conversion line above the baseline according to Ichimoku, and then it becomes bullish. So where is it heading now? So if we are looking at this, the first stop I think is I've just drawn the Fibonacci retracements here. And if you look at it, there are two trend lines we are watching here. The first one level is around 226, and the second one is like around 235. So what I'm expecting is tomorrow, within 2 days, we expect this move to 225, and then it might retrace a bit, and then it might touch this 87, which is 230. So after that, we can see what happens. If let's look at it in another angle, just to see how does it look. I'm going to remove this and I'm going to draw an extension and see how it looks. Uh, okay. If you look at this, it is looking at like around this area. That was a long-term view of this is it's like we don't know how long, but it looks like it's very much due. So definitely it looks to go to 250 area. But again, I feel the January calls will be a best bet on the long term for Microsoft. So that will take you to the 250 area and that can get you a lot of profits. Okay. So these are some of the ideas, long-term ideas that I wanted to discuss with you guys. And on some of the updates, I have already mentioned the one of the things I wanted to talk about is BB, which we mentioned in yesterday's stuff. It is going up and down, and it is like trading here. This is like we are expecting the first move to 925, and hopefully we could get a double on that our option prices and around this area, and that we might exit because there it might take some considerable time to go here. So let's see what happens tomorrow. It all depends on the price action. But as I mentioned, it's time to be a little bit cautious. The market is like uh, it's at the top of the it's at the peak, and any time there could be a correction. So whatever I mentioned in this video will work if the markets are going up, but if it is not going up, then you want to be with the trend and don't want to trade these. So keep a very close watch on the markets and then make your decisions, folks. Okay. If you like this video and if you and you know and if you're trading any of the picks that we have been suggesting, please do share and also let us know your feedback how we can make this video better. And also, if you like this video, please show your love by liking this video and also subscribing to our channel. Okay. So that's all I have for you today, folks. I will catch you again in tomorrow's episode. Until then, have a profitable trading day.